Yo, what's going on? It's your man Rick the Dawn, and I just caught up on episode 6 of Temptation Island, and I think it's only right that I start off with Brion and Shante. This episode, Brion completely upsets me. He completely offends me, and I'm not sure why I'm taking this so personal. He didn't do this to me or my daughter or my mother or my sister as far as, cheat and stuff like that, but it's a part of me that is extremely upset with the way that he's handling the situation. I want to double down on the fact that I believe Shante is the perfect wife. Okay, I'm going to double down on that because she is going through it on the other side. She doesn't even have a clue as to what Brian is doing over there. But just the mere sight of a red light, because she knows somebody over in the men's villa has went into the little secret tent. Just the sight of the red light breaks her down. And it's something about the way that she breaks down that is extremely hurtful because she's not like some women who are already flirting with guys and talking with guys on the low and DMing guys or answering DMs or entertaining guys, right? It's what a lot of women do. They entertain guys and they do it so they don't feel bad. Like they don't go all the way, but they entertain them enough to give themselves some validation, make themselves feel good with like attention and stuff like that. That's how women typically operate. They typically have, some guys on the side that they don't go all the way with. They call their friend, if you will. However, the minute the boyfriend or the significant other steps out of the way, they already have 3 or 4 guys that can take his place. And Shante is not that. And it's so rare. That's why I say she's the quintessential example of a girlfriend or a wife even, because she is completely dedicated to Brion. And that is despite the fact that Brion is completely disrespecting her. And this is what makes it so easy to dislike this guy. Okay? I mean, he goes so far as to assume that his actions will be completely forgiven by Shante. And you know what's really scary about the way that he postures in that regard? It's the fact that he might be right. And I can't tell you how upset I am with Brion, 1, and then 2, Shante. I'm like, Shante, you deserve better than Brion, whether you realize it or not. And I feel like Brion is one of the first guys that Shante ever got with that she holds in high regard. We've all been there where we've dated somebody that we didn't think we really deserved, so we let them get away with things that they shouldn't have gotten away with. That's what Shante seems to be caught into, right? She thinks Brion is something that she doesn't deserve. And as a result, she's allowing him to disrespect her. Brion goes on to say, well, I'm glad I had a threesome. Can you believe he said that? That's what I was offended about. I'm glad I had a threesome because now I got it out of my system. I said, what? What? And he says, I would feel worse if I would have had sex with a girl one-on-one, but because I had a threesome, I don't think it's that serious. He says stuff like that in this episode. And then he goes on to say that I know, not I think, I know Shante will forgive me because, I just know she will. And then he goes on to say stuff like, I think that me having a threesome was good for our relationship because now I know it doesn't fulfill me. So Brion is of the thinking that he held this threesome over Shantae's head for it seems like years at this point. And he had the threesome. So he bit into the apple. He bit into the temptation. And he realized what we already knew. You know the funny thing about temptation? It's hollow. It looks good on the outside, but it's empty on the inside. And I don't know how many times I've learned that. So, maybe I'm being a hypocrite here. But I don't know if I'm going to allow Brion off the hook like that. Because he has this threesome, and then he tries to state to himself, well, now I know that it's not what I really want. And I got it out of my system. So moving forward, I think that me and Shante will be good. Man, I wanted to just reach through that TV and just take Shante from him. And you know what would destroy a guy like him? You know what would destroy him? If when he went to the bonfire, he saw Shante getting laid down by a big dog like Rick the Dawn. I'm telling you right now, if Brion can see what I would be doing to his angel, his beautiful woman, I would bring that man to tears because that's what he deserved. He deserved to not only know about it, like, okay, Shante sees his bonfire, sees he's having a threesome, and he's still flirting with girls. Okay? He's still doing it. And then she leave him, and then she come to a guy like Rick the Dawn, right? And then let's say I'm on a show, and I take Shante out, and I say, you know what? And I hit her with the moves, and then I just dog her out right there in front of the camera, and then he get to see that. That's what he needs. He needs to see somebody dog his girl out on camera. He got to see that because he think he is God's gift to women. I'm telling you. He says, I can get any woman I want. Really? Because you didn't get Angel. Angel was right there for the taking. And she just wasn't impressed, was she, Brion? So I don't like Brion no more, man. I was really pulling for him. But just like Shante is the quintessential example of a good woman, Brion is the quintessential example, not of a bad man, of a terrible and fake false Christian, right? Or, if I'm being fair to him, a Christian that is in his earliest walk possible. Because you know, there's this thing about being a Christian in your early stages that you think you can just do satanic stuff like sex with other women and threesomes and still call yourself a good Christian. Yeah, I've been there, right? We all been there. But I don't know, man. I don't know how to feel about Brion. I know one thing for certain. I don't like him at all because he is clearly knowledgeable about his position in that girl's heart. He knows that she does not want to lose him. So he feels like I can go sleep with other women, show her that I did it in detail on Netflix, and she gonna still take me back. Where's her father at? Where's her brothers? Does she got a brother? She don't got no uncles, no male cousins to say, hey, you know you deserve better than that, right? And we're not going to allow you to make the decision because you're not in the emotional state to make a clear decision. Clearly, we're taking you from Brion. We're taking you. Because I'm telling you right now, if I see this guy disrespecting my sister like he's disrespecting her on national television, I'm taking my sister back. And I'm gonna say, hey, if you want her back, you gotta see me first. Because you don't disrespect no beautiful woman like this. She don't even have no secondary and tertiary options. She don't even have them. She's not entertaining nobody else. You know how rare that is to find not only a woman, but a male or a woman that's not entertaining nobody else? You know how difficult that is? And I'm not talking about entertaining them when you're around. I mean, when they're by themselves and there's nobody around, they're still respecting you. You know how difficult that is, Brion? I cannot wait till you find just how rare what you had was. Because just about every other woman that he's going to ever get in his life will not be as good as Shante. I think this is true. You know, and you know what? I'm going to call myself out. I had a girl like this before. She was all about me, and I was exactly what Brion is. And that's why I got what I got now. All right, I got uncertainty, and you know, I deserve this because I feel like every man has had that one woman that he played on, and maybe not every man, but every F-boy has had that woman or that girl that they played with, and they did not treat her with the absolute respect that she showed him or that she deserved. This is what Brion, he's in that stage of his life. And I'm so upset with him. But I'll tell you somebody I'm not upset with. I'm extremely happy with Ashley. Oh, this was a great episode for Ashley. Let me tell you. Ashley is making me extremely happy. I wish that Shante would borrow a few cues from Ashley. Now, if you don't know, Grant has been disrespecting Ashley for the last couple of weeks, where he's developed this relationship with Natalie that is like crossed the line. They came back and then crossed it twice, right? And one of the funniest parts of this episode is watching Grant tell Ashley via a bonfire message that he still thinks that this relationship is salvageable. And the funniest part happens after that funny part. And it is Ashley and the girls laughing amongst each other like this guy is literally clueless. And I know what they're saying. They're saying this guy literally slept with another girl on camera and showed it to me. And the fact that he thinks that I'm going to take him back, he's ridiculous. He's delusional. Seriously. Like, Grant, let me help you out, buddy. Do you see how good looking Ashley is? Did you see what happened when the show started where 6 guys Like 6 of the 11 gave Ashley a bracelet saying that they found her attractive. Did you see that, Grant? That's important to remember, okay? You know what that means? She has a lot of options. You know what else that means? You have no shot with this chick, okay? No shot. Now, the good thing for Grant is that he at least got Natalie. Like, Natalie can give even the most beautiful woman a run for her money. She's absolutely stunning. And hey, if you can't have Ashley, at least you got Natalie. But you're not gonna have you're not gonna have both. Now, Ashley is starting to develop some relationships on the other side of the island, and she is growing fonder to one guy. I don't remember the guy's name. He's like 7 years her junior. He's 22. She's 29, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, they went into the tent. They kissed. All those fun things happened, and this, you know what happened? Grant broke down at the bonfire when he saw Ashley finally get her get back. Ashley, I am so happy for you. You deserve to get so much get back. I hate cheaters. And it's because mainly I was a cheater first, and I saw how I hurt people, and then I finally got with a girl that was a cheater just like me, and she hurt me. I hurt her. She hurt me more. All right, because I had never really experienced it before. I'm pretty sure by that point she had been cheated on. She just had that kind of energy. But yeah, that was great to see that Grant got humbled, by Ashley. Ashley was on dates. She's kissing. She's doing all that kind of stuff, and she's moving on. And more importantly, she's not even teeter-tottering and playing this game like, well, I'll talk to Grant at the final bonfire and we'll have a discussion. She has 100% moved on, and Grant is crushed about it because Grant is the kind of guy that he's very impulsive. The ladies called him childlike, right? And I think that's a very strong and very, very accurate depiction of Grant. He's very childish. So he actually thinks he can have sex with Natalie and then still somehow finagle a relationship with Ashley. All right, he can't. He thinks he can have sex with Natalie and still get Ashley. And it's like, bro, that's not how things work, my friend. I'm so sorry, Grant. You have lost Ashley. She's gone. And you know what really sucks for Grant? Ashley is hot. And Ashley has never cheated on Grant. So that means Grant is really, really, he's not thinking. He's not thinking. He's just too impulsive. And she's gone. She's not coming back. I'm 100% certain of that. Okay. But, yeah, his face at the end, the way that Grant was looking when he saw Ashley kissing that boy and going inside the tent, you can see his brain just kind of playing out this whole sexual situation, and he's terrified about it. This whole series is teaching me one thing. Men, they go for immediate gratification when it comes to the opposite sex, when it comes to cheating and stuff like that. They go for the first option that's handed to them. That's what men do. And I'm seeing that women, they take a more calculated approach and they wait for the best option. And this is what I'm noticing. Okay. So where you have a male and a female, they're both pretty promiscuous, both kind of like cheaters. The guy will bite at the very first sign of attention. He'll bite at the very first girl that shows any interest at all. Whereas the woman will see that happen, see her man kind of chase these other girls, go through the heartache of what that brings about. And then, they'll have 4 or 5 guys consoling her, and she'll pick amongst the 5 guys the best suitor. So women put men through these tournaments. And what I like about this show is I get to see it. I get to see the process, so I understand it better. So, I'm seeing that Ashley is putting these guys through this tournament, and the best and most qualified guy is the guy that she's pursuing. Whereas with Grant, he just picked the sexiest one, and that was it. It was a very quick process. I'm not sure how to even make that make sense. All right, but we'll move on to Tayler and Tayler. Tayler is progressively moving forward with Kay. They sleep in the same bed. One thing that Tayler did that made me a little happy on the inside is he said that I'm not at a point where I feel comfortable sleeping with Kay, as in having sex. And I said to myself, Tayler is a man of principle. He seems to have grown and matured, despite the fact that Tayler doesn't really think so. And I can understand her point of view as well, because Tayler is coming out of a a marriage where he had cheated on his wife. So he is clearly not someone to be trusted 100%. But I do see some growth here. And that's kind of hard to say when he's already formed a whole new relationship on the island in front of his girlfriend. So it's kind of hard to say that. But what Tayler is doing is he's holding out and reserving a little bit of his relationship with Tayler by not sleeping with Kay. Okay, he's not sleeping with her, and he is flirting. That's what he's there for. It would have been almost impossible for Tayler to be around Kay and receive all the attention she was giving him and not have crossed the line in some regard. He would have to be a non-human. Okay, but the good news is Tayler is kind of having some fun of her own. She has developed a relationship with Yemen, something like that, black guy. And it's hilarious because Tayler is just like, he just doesn't want any problems with that guy as far as like physique and stuff like that. He can't compete, in my personal opinion. I think Yemen is, if he really gets the opportunity to kind of move forward and sleep with and stuff like that, I don't think that Tayler would even look at Tayler the same anymore. I really don't. And the other thing, we had Cade. Cade came back. He was a guy who left because he felt the pressure as it relates to pursuing Tayler. And he didn't like that other guys were getting the best of him when it came to her attention. So he dismissed himself. And I thought it was a punk move, personally. But then he comes back. And it's like he expects that Tayler was kind of sitting in place waiting for him to come back. It's like, no, Tayler has already started moving on. She's talking to Yemen. She's doing all these different things. She's kind of expanding her horizons and meeting new people. And he kind of comes back and he just thinks that he's going to jump right back into this seat. And Yemen is looking at him like, hey, bro, I know you see me here. So that is a thing. All right. I don't think that Cade has any shot whatsoever with Tayler. I think at this point, Tayler is going to either go to Yemen or she's going to go back to Tayler. Mainly because Tayler did not absolutely destroy the relationship by sleeping with Kay. But at the same time, I'll tell you one thing that I know for certain. Tayler is done with Tayler. I think I know that for certain. Because Tayler has crossed the line as far as sleeping with Kay, kissing Kay. And even at the bonfire, the video that Tayler sends to Tayler is pretty disrespectful. They show Tayler on a date with Kay, and they have the most romantic kiss possible. And I just don't see any scenario where Tayler accepts him back, especially since Tayler had already had reservations about Tayler in the first place. She already didn't trust him. And all this has done is just confirm the way she felt. Not going to happen. Now, I will say I'm pretty harsh about Alexa and Lino. But, man, you just got to take your hat off to these two. They are an amazing example, and they've proven me wrong. I thought that they might kind of play around a little bit just to kind of test the waters. Not this relationship. These two understand how to show respect to their partner. I mean, I feel like I can learn some things from these two because even though Alexa went on a date, even though Lino went on a date, even though Lino is attracted to other females, even though Alexa is clearly attracted to other people, Gio, for example, she is not disrespecting this relationship. He is not disrespecting his relationship. It's just not happening. And I feel so good to be able to say that these two are going to be with each other when this whole thing concludes. And I love what Alexa says in this episode. She says that her boyfriend Lino is on the other island with two cheaters. Basically, she's referring to Brion and Grant. Okay, and she's right. And she's like, I don't want those cheaters around her man because she doesn't want them to be negative influences. But I would love to just communicate to Alexa, you have nothing to worry about with a guy like Lino. Lino he's a class act. Okay, he's not someone who leads with sex. He's not someone who lives, breathes, and just drinks sex like a Brion, for example. You can tell that Lino is going to be a good father someday. Lino is ready for marriage, things of that nature. And it's very unfortunate that Lino did experience that hurt from Alexa at the start of their relationship when she chose another guy. But I think that was Alexa just kind of like hedging her bets, saying, hey, I have two great guys here, and time will tell which one she needed to move forward with. And that was hurtful to Lino. But having done so, now she knows that Lino is who she really wants. But it doesn't really do much for Lino, does it? But anyway, I think that them being on Temptation Island will absolutely prove to Lino that he does not have to worry about Alexa, because Alexa is on the island with a literal 11 hot guys. Okay, so if she was going to do anything disrespectful, she would have did it already. Okay, but that is pretty much where we leave off. I cannot wait to check out episode 7, because I get to see how Brion's disgusting actions hurt Shante, because they end the episode right as they show the bonfire clips to Shante. And man, it's gonna be so hard for me to watch it, because I look at Shante as almost like a daughter, almost, or even like a little sister, because I'm gonna say a little sister, not a daughter, but a little sister for sure. She is absolutely nice. She's so respectful to her relationship. She is a strong representation of what a Christian is supposed to be trying to be. Now, we know that Christians are not perfect. Let's not go there. But the fact that she's showing that she can handle temptation, she's showing that she has respect for herself first. It's just such an admirable quality, and it just makes her so much more beautiful to me. Okay, yeah, she doesn't have, the biggest of breasts, the biggest of butt. She is not overly flirtatious. She's not overly sexual. But she has in spades. She has character. And I just think that should matter a little bit. All right. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed that recap and analysis. I will see you on the next one. Peace.